What is going on, everybody? Sports Expert here, and we have our first edition, a new series I'll be doing every week of NFL Rookie Power Rankings. So, this is my first edition, week 2, NFL Rookie Power Rankings. So, let's get right into it. Please hit the subscribe button if you're new. Turn on post notifications for a ton of NFL content. Like the video. Comment what you think about my rookie rankings. So let's get right into it. At 10, we have San Francisco 49ers running back Elijah Mitchell. Elijah Mitchell in week 1 had 19 carries for 104 yards and a touchdown. Second week, he didn't do as much, and he's injured right now, but, had to keep him in the top 10. 17 carries for 42 yards. He actually did have a touchdown, but it was called back as he was just short. But, yeah, the upside on this kid is ridiculous, and he can be a top back for San Francisco one day, especially if something crazy happens to Raheem Mostert. And he's already out for the year, so Elijah Mitchell will get his reps this year. So I'm definitely interested to see what he can do in this 49ers offense. At 9, we have Rondale Moore, wide receiver for the Arizona Cardinals. Rondale Moore is definitely an interesting player to me. I liked him coming out of Purdue. I didn't know how ready he would be at the NFL level, but he's looked ready and better than ever. He leads all rookie receivers in receiving yards with 182. And yeah, and he had a 77-yard touchdown the other day versus Minnesota where it was just blown coverage and he got wide open, which was crazy. He has crazy speed. He can break tackles. He's just so electric out there, Rondell Moore. He was a great value pick in the second round for the Cardinals. At 8, we have Rashan Slater, offensive tackle, left tackle for the Chargers. He would have been higher on my list if it was week 1, but because he definitely downgraded versus the Cowboys, you know what I mean, in performance, he falls to 8, but he's still one of the best prospects in this draft so far and will end up being an all-pro player. Rashawn Slater at 8. I think that was great value for the Chargers. I don't think the Giants should have traded down and they got Kadarius Toney, but instead they should have just taken Rashawn Slater, and I don't understand why. And the Chargers got an absolute steal there, I believe at 13. So, yeah, crazy stuff. I thought they would go Vera Tucker, but then they were able to get Slater. That's what happens. At 7, we have Adafe Owe, formerly known as Jason Owe, out of Penn State. And yeah, Slater's from Northwestern, Moore's from Purdue, and Mitchell is from Louisiana Lafayette. So Owe, he had the game-sealing forced fumble against the Kansas City Chiefs. He's had a sack this season too. He's looked really good. He's gotten a lot of pressure for the Ravens. They lost Matt Judon and Yon Ngogwe, but he's really replaced them in a great way. And if the Ravens want to stay at the top of the AFC, he's definitely going to have to keep contributing with that for that pass rush. So I really like Owe here. And I really wanted the Browns to consider drafting him. So good stuff by Baltimore and Eric DeCosta. At 6, we have Bills defensive end Gregory Rousseau. Might be the biggest steal of the draft. It's definitely up there. I mean, a lot of people, he fell in the draft because a lot of teams didn't think he'd be ready right away for the NFL. But through 2 weeks, he's looked ready and better than ever. 2 sacks, 5 tackles already. I mean, he's a high motor player, and everyone was like, "Hey, he ain't ready yet. He's not gonna be ready for a couple seasons. He's still young and maturing." He looks like a premier pass rusher through 2 weeks, so I don't know about that. But he's looked really good to me. Gregory or so at 6 out of Miami. At 5, we have the receiver out of LSU, former Joe Burrow's teammate at LSU, and now teammates with him in Cincinnati, Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase had a great game, 101 yards in week 1. Didn't do as much in week 2, but he has 42-plus yard touchdowns on the season already. He had 2 catches for 52 yards versus the Bears. Almost propelled the Bengals to a big comeback win, too. They were down 20-3, so yeah. But the upside on Chase is ridiculous. He was easily the best wide receiver in the draft, in my opinion. So, yeah. At 4, we have Ahsante Samuel Jr., the son of Ahsante Samuel. This guy, Samuel, I didn't think he'd be fully ready at the NFL level yet. I wasn't extremely high on him, but he's looked great. I mean, if you watched that Cowboys-Chargers game like I did, I mean, he was all over the field. Every play, he was there. He was making an impact. Interception, pass defense, everything. He's that good. Ahsante Samuel looked great. He looked like his dad. And, a lot of people considered him a slot corner. He can play the slot. He can play outside. He can play anywhere. He's going to do his job and try to be a shutdown corner. I really like the upside there. And the Chargers have 2 players on this list. The only team that has 2 players. At 3, we have Cleveland Browns corner Greg Newsome. The second, a lot of fans will get mad at me and say, hey, you're biased because you're a Browns fan. I'm not biased because there's a fact here. I mean, I could have put Surtain here or Ahsante Samuel. Surtain's probably around 11 and Devontae Smith at 12. This guy's just missed the list, Surtain and Smith. But Newsome, he's been targeted only 4 times. 4 times against Patrick Mahomes and Tyrod Taylor. That's crazy. And he's faced some stiff competition as he's had to face Kansas City's fast receiving corps, and Houston has a decent receiving core. He's got some nice pieces there. So maybe not the greatest receiving core or anything, but they have some flashy players, speedy players, both teams. And he's only allowed 6 yards. 6 through 2 weeks. He's a rookie. He's one of the youngest players in the NFL, and he's allowed 6 yards. He did have one mistake last week on a pass interference, but he also had a pass defense too. I mean, if Patrick Mahomes doesn't want to target you, I mean, you're doing something right. Or even Tyrod Taylor, who had a great start to the season. So yeah, out of Northwestern, Greg Newsome. At 2, we have Mac Jones, quarterback out of Alabama for the Patriots. Out of all the rookie quarterbacks, he's looked the best, and it's not even close. His efficiency is great. His passer rating is decent. He hasn't turned over the ball once. He only has 1 touchdown, but that just tells you the state of the rookie quarterbacks. Not great, but Mac Jones has looked efficient. He's looked good for the Patriots, and he's definitely looking like he can be that franchise guy. He's a leader. He can be a role model for this team. I like him. At 1, here is our number 1 rookie so far through 2 weeks, Dallas Cowboys linebacker, and you call him an edge rusher as well, Micah Parsons. This kid is special. He really is. The only reason why he fell so much in the draft is because of his behavioral issues and everything. So Micah Parsons, if he doesn't have behavioral issues, he's probably a top 5 pick, honestly. He was the best defensive player in the draft for sure. He's so talented. I mean, ridiculous. If he would have fell to 26 to the Browns, I would have taken him. And there were rumors he could fall that far, but no, he didn't. He went 13 or 14, whatever it was, to Dallas. So, yeah. Dallas Cowboys got great value there. They got a future superstar on defense. He can play linebacker. He can play edge. I mean, who cares? He's awesome. Stepped in for DeMarcus Lawrence and did a great job. So, Micah Parsons at 1. So, those are my rookie power rankings, everybody, for week 2, after week 2. So, once again, please hit the subscribe button for new. Turn on post notifications, like the video, comment what you think about my rankings and who you would put there. I'm out, guys. Sports expert.